Welcome back to our series on the First World War. Last time we saw the initial shots fired and the grand plans of nations colliding. Now, we witness the birth of a new, horrifying kind of conflict. The German march on Paris had been stopped cold. What followed was a desperate, bloody scramble northwards as both sides tried to outmaneuver each other. They called it the race to the sea. This frantic dash culminated in the First Battle of Ypres, a brutal slugfest where Allied forces just barely held the line, preventing a German breakthrough. The cost was staggering. It became terrifyingly clear that the quick, decisive war everyone expected was a fantasy. So they started digging. Not just for a night or two, but for the long haul. From the chilly waters of the English Channel all the way to the Swiss mountains, a scar was carved across Europe. Soldiers burrowed into the earth, creating a vast, complex network of trenches. This wasn't a strategic choice. It was a desperate necessity to survive the relentless hail of machine gun bullets and artillery shells. The war of movement was dead. In its place rose a 350-mile front of mud, wire, and death, the Western Front. This was the dawn of trench warfare, a hideous, grinding stalemate that would define the war for years to come. While armies were getting bogged down in the mud, a different kind of war was heating up on the high seas. Great Britain, boasting the most powerful navy in the world, moved fast. They defeated German ships at the Battle of Heligoland Bight and established a crippling naval blockade around Germany. The goal was simple: starve the German war machine and its people by cutting off all imported food and supplies. It was a slow, strangling strategy. But Germany had a revolutionary new weapon up its sleeve: the U-boat. These submarines could hunt from the shadows, unseen beneath the waves. They were about to change naval warfare forever. The British cruiser HMS Pathfinder learned this the hard way, becoming the first ship in history to be sunk by a submarine-launched torpedo. The message was clear: no ship was safe. The silent hunters of the deep had been unleashed, and the battle for the Atlantic had begun. Meanwhile, on the vast Eastern Front, the conflict was just as brutal but far more mobile. Russian armies had pushed deep into German Prussia, threatening the heartland. But German commanders Paul von Hindenburg and Erich Ludendorff engineered a masterclass in military strategy. At the Battle of Tannenberg, they completely encircled and annihilated the Russian Second Army. It was a catastrophic defeat for Russia, with tens of thousands of soldiers captured and entire formations ceasing to exist. Hindenburg and Ludendorff became national heroes in Germany overnight. But the war wasn't just a two-front affair. It was metastasizing, spreading across the globe like a virus. Austria-Hungary's invasion of Serbia, the very conflict that started it all, ended in a humiliating retreat. Russia, despite its disaster at Tannenberg, inflicted massive casualties on the Austro-Hungarians in Galicia. New fronts erupted everywhere. Fierce fighting broke out in the snow-capped Caucasus Mountains between the Ottoman and Russian empires. Colonial territories in Africa became battlegrounds. Even in the distant Pacific, German colonies were being seized. The world was at war. From the muddy trenches of France to the icy waters of the Atlantic and the vast plains of Eastern Europe, the conflict had escalated beyond anyone's worst nightmares. The stage was set for an even greater global struggle. Join us next time as we explore how the Ottoman Empire's entry into the war reshaped the entire conflict. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next chapter in our series. See you then.